Hey everyone, Happy New Year and welcome to the Startable Vlog, the place where everyone can be an entrepreneur. I'm Nicole Dickens, the founder of Zoetica, where we help you start, launch, then scale your ideas for greatest impact. The Startable community itself is all about igniting the entrepreneurial spirit by providing as many opportunities as possible for those who are at the early stages of entrepreneurship to discover, then launch those ideas into the world. And it will be forever free to join, I promise you. Now, we've been hashing out the entrepreneurial path over the last several episodes and have talked quite a bit about how getting comfortable with pain is the best way to hone in on that right idea for launching and scaling. And how the power attribute of empathy, and remember, power attributes are things that are available to everyone. They're skill sets, tools, resources, if you will, that we all have access to and can develop over time to help us actually move successfully through life. And so the power attribute of empathy is actually an important guide in the process of creating anything new. And entrepreneurship is definitely about creating the new. It may be an old problem or a problem with an outdated or ineffective solution that you're trying to solve, because let's be honest, we live in cycles, and what worked yesterday will not necessarily hold true tomorrow. And this is a truth that the entrepreneur must embrace for longevity's sake, if you plan to stick around in this for a bit. Or it may be an existing solution from one context that you see the opportunity to use in a completely different context, but it is still creating something new. I don't want you to lose sight of that fact. And so in this next series, I'm going to take a little time to talk to you about the process of entrepreneurship. And as you've probably guessed, the process starts with what? A problem. Or better put, identifying the right problem. Too many times over the course of my career, I have noticed how we can end up with really bad attempts at a solution, which is basically not a solution at all, by the way. A bad solution isn't a solution, because we don't take the time to fully understand the problem needing to be solved. And this comes from not embracing the pain of the problem. It is human nature to try to skirt around it, skip over it, instead of walking through it, or using empathy, that power attribute again, to understand it. You need to deploy empathy to be able to identify what is true and what is not, because when we are talking about pain, when we are uncovering problems, they tend to be shrouded in lies that distort what is true, because these lies actually allow the problem to persist. They hide the problem so it can continue. Case in point, there is a common ideology in the entrepreneurial world that suggests that entrepreneurship is only for a select few. And generally, they go along the lines of some sort of personality type. And frankly, these types seem to all come from a specific socioeconomic background. I mean, just look at who VC firms tend to invest in normally on a regular basis for proof of this idea. As a result, too many of us talk ourselves out of being problem solvers for our families and communities on one hand, while those of us brave enough to not buy the initial lie can become weighed down by or completely disenchanted with all of the bull in place that blocks our paths to building the solutions our communities so desperately need from us. Here is what is true about this paradigm. We are the solutions to our problems. The answers are in us and no one else. I'm going to go one step further. No one else is going to solve our problems, our families, our communities' problems. That's up to you and me, friend. And so if we are our own problem solvers, meaning it lives within us, then it stands to reason everything we need to overcome it is also available to us. And that's going to be the rest of this series. I'm going to unpack that concept over the rest of this series, by the way. So by separating the truth of the problem from the lies that hide it, because it is a protection mechanism, by the way, you will now be able to create something that addresses what is true and not what is false, the recipe for success. And this finding what is true in the midst of the sea of lies can only happen by getting up close and personal with what's broken, what's not working, what's causing the pain. by using the power attribute of empathy to lead you into another such attribute I call discovery, looking at what is wrong for the purpose of making it right, or problem solving. So, what is true about your biggest problem? What were the lies about the problem that blocks you from getting at a right solution? And there can be multiple right solutions. Remember Beta versus VHS? I know I'm taking you back a ways on that one. But Mac versus PC, iPhone versus Android. There are multiple ways to skin the same cat. Tell me how you're going to solve for what is true about your problem, and you've just begun to sculpt an opportunity out of it. You're welcome. Until next time, remember, discovering what's true about the problem, and you can find the right solution to that problem. Find the right solution, and you've got an idea worth investing in, worth buying, worth selling.